Right. Good afternoon to all of you all. Right. My name is Winston. I have been a career coach for quite some time. So, well, very much I'm an executive and career coach for the past 10 years. So these are some of my credentials that includes being a accredited professional career certified coach by ICF, International Coach Federation. I'm also a recognized global career development facilitator and instructor. That's only about 15 of us in the whole Southeast Asia, right? And last but not least, I'm a certified Master's Career Service by NCDA. I'm also the only panel review Asian panel reviewer for CMCS, or in short, Certified Master's Career Services reviewer in Asia. Right. Having said this, allow me to share with you what is about branding. Every one of us know about branding. What's so special about branding? So just give me some time for the next probably about 20 to 25 minutes to share with you why is it so important to go about branding. So, well, having said this, ladies and gentlemen, a quick question. If let's say there's two phones over here, one is over here, obviously is Apple, and the other one is an unknown brand, and it costs $1,300. Which one will you buy? Which one will you pick up? Most people will say Apple. But there again, nobody asked me, hey, for this unknown brand over here, what functions do they have, right? What capacity can they, what are the things that they can actually give to me? So that is very much about branding. So, Winston, what are you talking about over here, right? So when we talk about brand, we talk about certain brand, for example, Mercedes-Benz. First thing that comes to your mind, luxury brand, luxury car. LV, Louis Vuitton, luxury brand, luxury bag. Well, of course, some people will say, well, it has been, it is true, but there again, it's more for the older folks, right? So, but the whole point, what I'm driving across over here is that what exactly is your brand? If I were to say, hey, Winston, what exactly is your brand? So, how will people associate you? Yeah, what will people remember you of? Yep. So this is very much what I want to drive across. So today's focus, we are going to focus on these five things: defining very much of your personal brand in resume, in interview, as well as how do you brand yourself through networking, strengthening your brand through networking. Last but not least, the resources that you can tap on. I will be sharing with you some of the resources, the great resources that you can tap on in JobStreet. So very much of defining your personal brand. So this is very much of it. We say that personal brand is a unique combination of skills, experience that makes who you are and also what people remember you of when you are not in the room. So of course, we talk about the clarity and we talk about very much of how you might want to do it. Let me go each one at a time. So most important thing of all is that when people were to call out, hey, Winston, so when they associate Winston, they will associate as a executive and career coach. Yeah. So when we call out, let's say Jay, wonderful presenter, right? As well as a facilitator, and of course, a great personality. So this is very much of it. So you need to be very clear what exactly are you when you share with people and what exactly is your unique selling proposition for somebody to remember you of. Yeah. So if you are not clear with this, how will people know what exactly can you provide for them? And most important thing of all, how will employers remember me about me? So the whole drive over here is you need to be clear what exactly is your brand. So in short, is that if let's say, hey Winston, I'm looking out for a job. Do you have any recommendation? Yeah, why don't you share with me? What exactly are you looking for? I'm looking for a coach job, a job in coaching. Yeah, tell me more. Yeah, coaching. So if I'm nice to you, I'll say, oh yeah, coaching. So yeah, I'll look out for you. So in short is that I do not tell people, or I unable to tell somebody what exactly I'm looking for. When you are unable to tell somebody what exactly am I looking for, how would this person be looking out for you? And even to think of what what will associate to you. So even if I have something that is compelling and you will be a good fit for the job, the question is that will they remember who you are, that you are looking for this kind of job and how to relate to it. There's no connection in terms of the brain wise. They cannot connect. Hey, I have this and who can do this? If I cannot remember what exactly is your unique selling point, right? And I cannot remember what exactly do you want, I will just pass you off until until somebody, or I can recall somebody else whom I'm very clear of what this person wants. And then I'll say, oh yeah, sure, Winston can actually do the job. So this is very much of why you should have clarity of your personal branding. So how do you get this clarity over here? We always talk about, ask yourself this, what exactly are your career values? What makes you take your interests? What kind of personality are you? What are your skills and experience? And last but not least, what are your accomplishments? So by writing it down or putting it on a piece of paper, put down what exactly your values, your interests, your personality, skills, experience, and accomplishment. That will set you kind of see, these are very much of what I can write down. And how do I make meaning from there? And how do I formulate my branding from here? So this is very much of it. A lot of times I will see my clients says that, okay, I have this, I have that. Okay, this is what exactly it is. Don't formulate in your mind. Write down on a piece of paper and so that you can see it carefully and see what exactly you have written and what kind of meaning where it comes back to you and say that, hey, this is exactly what is my brand and this is what I want people to remember me of. And your brand need to be consistent. And if there is no consistency, people cannot see it. Even though you articulate saying that, oh, I'm a career coach, so or executive career coach. So what exactly is your career coaching? So if somebody were to come to me saying that, hey, Winston, I need to find employment. And can you, or I need to know, I'm stuck. I don't know what to go do next. What am I supposed to do? I'm not very sure. So can I refer you to somebody else? So it's not consistent in terms of employment, in terms of career. So people will not take me seriously. So in terms of your branding, you need to be very consistent in your brand so that people will relate back to your, it's like people will remember that, hey, Winston is this person and this is the brand. And while you look for your job, it will be very easy for you to find out what exactly to look out for. So very much of it, the overarching of it in terms of the branding wise. So I hope you have a clearer picture what exactly is personal branding when we ask you this question. Hey, what exactly is your brand? So allow me to share with you this. Being a career coach for more than 10 years, most of the time, out of 10% that I ask, I would dare to tell you 7 to 8% cannot answer me what exactly is their brand. Is it because they don't know it? Not exactly. Most of the time it's because they did not sit down to reflect very much what exactly is their brand. Some of them can be very high level people, C-suite, C-1 director level. However, they can't really remember, or they did not reflect, not can't remember, did not reflect through who they already are and what kind of brand do they want to share out to the marketplace about themselves, right? So let me just go on in terms of personal branding in resume. So think through, who are you going to target? And in all honesty, most of the time when I ask my client uh, to prepare themselves in terms of how do they think before they start penning down their in their resume, I will ask them this thing. Always remember, know what you want to share with the reader so that they can know you. Second thing, very much, make sure you let your reader feel what you want them to feel about you. And with this knowing about it, about you, and feeling about you, so you want them to do this last thing, call you out for an interview, yeah, or even call you out for a chat. So always remember, before you write, make sure you want to know what you want them to know about you. Not because, oh, I think of this thing, so I will just write this. Oh, I think of this thing, so I will write the other thing. What exactly do you want them to know about you? And how would you want them to feel about you, right? And finally, ask them to act accordingly. So very much, what are you targeting? So in career summary, very much, you need to share with them this thing, in short, your career brand or what we call your personal brand. So in this career summary, make sure you share with them in a very succinct way, who exactly are you, right? So if you notice how what you call, how I present myself earlier, do you notice that I presented myself very much as in, my name is Winston and I am an executive and career coach. And this is what I call a team. This is something that I want them to focus on, my team, executive and career coach. Then I share very much of 3 pointers. What are my credentials? Last but not least, I share a value proposition saying that I'm going to share with you my knowledge in terms of how do you brand yourself. A team, 3 pointers, as well as value proposition. So when you write your career summary, one of the things that I will ask my clients to consider as a handler is very much of, you need to share with people what do you want them to focus on. Like, for example, you are an expert in operation management. So you are uh, very much in operation management as an administrator. In which field, which industry? That is something what I call a team, so that they can focus on your brand. Then you need to share with them evidence. Evidence in the sense whereby what exactly are your knowledge as well as your skills to support your team or your brand. Then of course you need to have what you call a value proposition for the employer or the reader, or in short, some people will say that, hey, this is a very much of a hook to hook them in. So this is a very much of how you might want to approach to write your career summary. So in your career summary, don't forget keywords. Keywords where what you call in the job description, some of the keywords that they use, like a particular kind of skills that they require of you, or particular kind of knowledge that require from you. So do share with them the skills and competency, like what I mentioned earlier. And last but not least, your hook inside there, the accomplishment. So remember, inside your resume, you need to tell people what you want them to know about you and how they want to feel about you. End of the day, I always tell my clients this. A lot of times they describe a lot of things inside the resume, and sometimes it overflow to 4 or 5 pages. So I just share with them this. Resume is a marketing document about you, and it's not a career history about you, right? So Remember this in resume. Be very clear of your personal brand. Otherwise, people will not know what exactly are you writing and what exactly are you trying to communicate to them in writing. Right? So next, I want to share with you very much of during an interview. So during an interview, what do you say and what do you not say? Very much of your verbal, right? As well as your non-verbal, like body language, as well as your tonality. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I were to ask you this question, in terms of your tone wise, do you realize that my tone is on a lower pitch? And when it's of a lower pitch, what exactly, how exactly do you feel when I speak to you in a lower pitch? Compared to right now, I'm using a higher pitch. Not that I raise my voice, and this is what we call using a twang to talk to you. It's sharper and it can be a bit irritating, isn't it? So during an interview, do control your tone and try to speak in low pitch. And when you speak in low pitch, this is how the listener or the interviewer will perceive you. They will feel that you're more stable, you are confident in whatever that you are sharing. So it brings forth a very nice feeling about you. So do remember to practice your tone. So in terms of non-verbal, it could be your very much of your body language. If you go in and then you fold your arms like this, what exactly are you trying to share with this person? You're cold or I'm not receptive to you. Yeah. So we also listen, they also listen out to your what you call uh the word to use is how fast do you the speed of your how do you articulate. So sometimes when some people they are when they are excited, they tend to talk a bit too fast, and this is how they catch you. Yep. So in basically during this interview preparation, do prepare very much what is the brand of the organization, what are they trying to share with you. Yep. First impression, what is your image to them? Body language, of course, the non-verbal part, and prepare common, what we call FAQ, frequently asked question like, tell me more about yourself. When they ask you this question, tell me more about yourself, it's not about finding out very much of you in what kind of apartment you are staying in, what kind of house you are staying in. I do hear people sharing with me very much of, hey, I'm actually staying with a dog or I'm married, things like this. No, they are not asking you this. They are asking you what exactly is your brand. So when you say, tell me more about yourself, they're asking you, okay, what is your brand and how do you support this brand? And I will always say that this is a very important question whenever they ask you, and how you answer it will determine the way how interview will flow. If you talk for a long time and I don't know what exactly is your brand, I will just pick anything and ask. So if this question you did not answer it well, you did not frame it well, generally it will go everywhere. Yep. You remember earlier I shared with you how you might the handles to use very much of the team, 3 pointers to support your team, and finally, what is your value proposition for the person? Yep. So another way of also answering this question, how you might want to answer this question, share with them a team and share with them very much of your knowledge, your skills, as well as even your values, right? So your values must be incongruent with the organization's values. Hence, they can see that, hey, you are actually speaking our language. This is what I want from you. Next, they will ask you very much of greatest strength. What is your greatest strength question? So that is where you share with them what are your relevant skills as well as ability for the job. that you are going to what you call apply for. Yep. So this question, sometimes they can be pretty nasty when they ask you this question. Why should we hire you? Question. So in short is that they want to know whether if you know the job scope and in terms of your brand wise and in terms of your skills wise, are you aligned with them? How how would you want to present your knowledge and your skills and to share with them from your brand? Hey, what kind of values can I bring in for you? Why should you hire me? Right? So all in all, this is very much of what kind of questions that they will ask very frequently. So prepare yourself in terms of your personal brand, how you will want to approach in terms of a interview. So before I move on to network, allow me to share with you this. Most of the interviewers, they will ask generally this kind of questions like your problem solving skills, your decision making skills, your critical thinking skills, right? Your adaptability. How about your learning? Are you a person whereby you consistently learn to upskill yourself and in terms of be up to speed with the market? How is your time management or even people's management? And what exactly is your value, motivation? Last but not least, of course, everybody talk about culture fit. So when you prepare for your interview, just prepare, you just think of all this kind of question, how they, or this kind of genre, how they are going to ask you, or what likely questions that they are going to ask you to be, then you will flow back to your personal branding so that they can remember who you are. Yeah. Last but not least, we talk about network. A lot of people will think that, oh, network is very much of uh, who I know. And in fact, is that some people share with me saying that, hey, Winston, you know what? My network in LinkedIn, I have more than 30,000 followers. So this is very much on my network. I will share with them saying that, oh, okay, great. That's network. However, that's not really network to me. To me, it's very much of connection. So network to me is very much of who knows you and who can actually make a strategic connection with you and align with your brand. And when you call upon them for help, they will be there to help you. Yeah. So network, you need to cultivate this time very much of, you need to cultivate this relationship over time. All right. So it's not like, oh, you can do it then, oh, this, I connect with you immediately, this is my network. No, you need to cultivate a relationship and you need to be aligned with each other. So what I will share with you saying that, yes, it will be good that you go to different events, online, offline, to try to get your different connections, but do spend time building your network. Network is about trust. It's about having a rapport together with the person, right? Last but not least, think through. Showcase your expertise, your brand expertise through social media so that people can actually connect with you. So when they connect with you, do feel free to share your support, offer your support to others so that they can click with you and to build this network of yours. In this world is about supporting each other. So once I help you, likelihood in time to come when I call for help from you, which is your expertise, likelihood you will help me in time to come. Will you agree? Yep. So this is a very much of it. And when you want to build your network, use different forms of channels to build your network. All right. So having said this, let me just move on. The last bit, resources that you can tap on. I would very much want to encourage you to go on this where JobStreet has this rich resources that you can use. They have what you call the career tools inside there, as well as the interview practice inside there. There's a QR code over there. Just uh, scan the QR code and go inside there and explore this wealth of resources that JobStreet offer to you. And at this point of time, I understand they're not going to charge you for these resources. So go and explore what they have inside there. Don't just let it, okay, it's just another one. I will just do it. Then don't do that. Go in there. I can share with you as much resources as possible, but if you don't practice that or don't use it, then it will be uh, just another avenue. Yep. So in summary, I have shared with you very much of your personal branding. Why is it important? Defining our personal branding, right? Your personal branding in resume, interview, and how can you actually broaden your network through your brand, right? And last but not least, the resources that you can tap on, right? Thank you very much. And I will take in questions over now. And let me just go to the questions. Okay. Hi, Winston. Could you share the 3 pointers that you were saying to support the team? So, uh, Regine, very much when we talk about the 3 pointers, we will want to use very much of your um, knowledge, your skills, and your values to support their team and try to help them to make meaning. Oh, you say that this is what you want, what exactly you are, right? So what are the evidence over there? So use your skills, your knowledge to share with them this. Okay. And very much what is your value? Uh, so that they can understand, this is exactly what you're saying. Okay, I understand what you mean. Then they might uh, inquire more things from you. For example, oh, you talk about these skills that you have. Can you share with me more about these skills? I'm not very familiar with it. And that's where the conversation will flow. Yep. Right. Will the slides video be available to us after the webinar? I understand that you can view the video later on, right? Let that I'm not too sure. So perhaps they can come back to you on this. For your part one, do you include that in our CV in the cover page? I'm not very sure what's your question. Can you help me to understand better? What do you mean by part one? Are you referring to the career summary? If it's career summary, then you need to share. If it is career summary, I will always encourage my client to write a career summary in your resume. A lot of times I see in a resume that is not, either they did not write at all career summary, which means that I don't know what exactly am I looking for when I receive the resume. As a reader, I don't know what are you trying to tell me. So if I receive without a career summary, it's more like you're just describing to me what is your job. So what are you trying to tell me? What is your value proposition for me? So I don't understand. You are asking me to make meaning from there. Well, sorry, I will not try to make meaning out from there because there are so many hundreds of resume. So it's crucial that you write your career summary. And some of them, some of the resumes that I saw, I read so far, they will share with me a very simple career summary, which I cannot make sense from there. So you need to be very clear, like what I say, be very clear in your branding. What can you offer on the table for the employer, right? So if you were to flow, we will say that to go to the cover page will share very succinctly what are you trying to say. In this resume, what can they find? Where else in your career summary is an overarching picture of you. In the cover page will be very much of what will they find in this resume. if they want more information. I hope that helps to answer this question, Irene. Let me know if I didn't answer your question. Yeah. All right. Gasper, you asked this question. Could you give a specific example how to showcase your brand via social media? Good question, right? One of the things that people want to know is that why should I connect with you? So you might want to showcase what exactly are your skills, what exactly are your knowledge, what is your expertise, and not only that, you might want to use what we call the trending skills or trending words inside this, let's say, using a social media. Um, what can you offer to them? Yeah. So, for example, digital marketing. So you put down there digital marketing, and I am very proficient in uh, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, as well as social media marketing. So this is something that you can showcase inside there to say that, hey, I am a marketeer or a digital marketeer. And this is very much of some of the skills that I have, right? Yes, career summary, where do we include in the branding resume before career history, or is it a separate page? Um, Good question, Irene. So it's generally on top, the first thing. After your name, your contact details, then will be your career summary. So if I were to bring your attention to liken reading a book, when you pick up a book, you will see the title and then maybe some words below. That is like the title of the book, right? So when you open up the book, what do you see? Normally, you will see a preface or a book summary, what the book is talking about. And if you are interested to find out more what the book is trying to say, you will open up to the next page. That's where the in-depth page is. So if you were to prep the reader, that's how you might do it. Irene, I hope that helps you in terms of clarify this point where to put your career summary. Right? So Arun, you asked, could you show an example resume? Unfortunately, I can't. This is about branding, and I will not be able to go through very much of how a resume were to be like. And if I were to go through a resume, I would dare to tell you that I'll spend at least about 2 to 3 hours talking about it. I'm so sorry about it. Right. So let's flow back to very much of branding. Any question, including in regards to branding, right? So I hear a lot about resume. So yes, just last one that I'm going to answer about resume is there any recommendation of number of pages of resume? Heard before, more than 3 pages is considered long. My resume is 7 pages long. How can I make it to 3 pages? Good question, Erica. Just want to share with you, there's a difference between resume and curriculum vitae. Curriculum vitae is a detailed professional portfolio of you. Resume is a summary professional portfolio of yours. Resume, 1 page is ideal, 2 page is good, 3 page is maximum. For curriculum vitae, CV, for some of us, minimum 3 page. 8 page will be good. The more the merrier. Yeah. So some of the jobs, some of the functions still require CV, some of the job, but most of them, they are asking for resume, right? So I hope that answers your question. How should we rebrand ourselves if we intend to switch gear, pivot to another role and industry? Good question, Louisiana, Louisa, sorry, not Louisiana, Louisa. So good question. End of the day, your brand is still there. So if I were to say that, hey, Winston used to be a career coach. Now he's a manager, right? So how would I actually share with you this? So if I were to say, I still have some of my personality from there to port over. So when I port over my personality as well as my soft skills, that is very much of how I'm going to communicate with others. Let's say, for example, I used to be from the education industry, and now I'm going to healthcare industry. So I will share saying that, oh, hi, my name is Winston, and I am a customer relationship uh, manager right now with ABC Healthcare, right? So my specialization is in uh, customer service where I help to deconstruct conflict, right? So if you notice over here, do I have the skill as a customer relationship? Can I say customer relationship management? Do I have the skills when I was a career coach or in the education industry? I still have. So I port over. And this is how I will phrase it. So you need to look down, write it down. Hey, how exactly is it going to be? How will I actually do it? So think through how you will be like. Yeah. So having said this, any other questions in terms of branding? I do see quite a number of resume, but let's keep it to branding and I will answer questions from branding first before I move on to talk about resume. Any question? Right? Let me see. Oh, okay. So do we need to share our activity outside office hours to hirers uh, to give a clearer picture who we are and what our interests are? Well, it all depends, Jacqueline. Good question over here. It will be sometimes you don't really need to share your activity outside office hours. So my question very much is that what are you trying to share with them? What is your message to them? When you share with them, you always want to go back to this question saying that what am I trying to let them know about me? And how am I going to let them feel about me? So if it's something that is not going to service your listener very much of who you are and what kind of value can you bring for the company. So my question to you is that will you want to share with them? Yeah. So this is something that you can what you call this is something that you can think of before you want to share with others. What exactly do you want to what exactly do you want to share with them in terms of outside your work activities? Yeah. Okay, I have another question. How can we get our contacts to write us a testimonial? Simple. Ask. Just ask them. Hey, Winston, earlier we have some contacts together. Is it all right that you help me to write a testimonial for me? Well, most of all, what will come out from it? Well, they might say that, nah, Winston, I'm busy. Or they will say, oh, sorry, I don't know you enough. That is like that is the worst that will happen. However, other things that what can come out from there, the positive side, very much. Sure, I'll write for you. Then likelihood they will write a testimonial for you, and then it will share with you. Is this all right? What I've written? Is there anything that you want me to add or subtract? So that is something that you can actually do it, right? Is there any tips to build my personal brand quickly? Right. Well, end of the day, you need to sit down to think through what is your brand and how are you going to communicate to others. If you are not clear what is your brand, then likelihood people are not clear about you as well. So they will only base on what they see you to be. And if you don't communicate to them saying that, hey, this is exactly my brand, then people will be thinking, hey, I'm not sure what exactly this person can bring. So this is something that I want to share with you. So if you feel that, hey, it might be a bit difficult for me to think through right now and I need to do it quickly, one of the ways that you can do it is that go and ask 10%. Tell me 3 positive things about me. What do you like about me or working with me? Normally, they will share with you something. Sometimes they will share more than 3 things. And if you combine all these 3 times 10%, you have 30 things, and you will see some converging pattern coming up, and some things will be repeated, and that's likelihood something that you can use it to formulate your brand first and quickly communicate to people what exactly is your brand. Yeah, right. Do you consider the biggest mistake people make in terms of what do you consider the biggest mistake people make in terms of personal branding? Thank you very much for the question, Mary. So to me, I personally feel that not much of a mistake, but very much of lacking. They fail to communicate to people what is your brand and who exactly they are. And when people don't know, they will say, okay, okay. They will just walk away. And most Asian, we are very nice people. And we say, okay, okay, then we will walk away. And once they walk away, they forgot about you, right? So once again, it's important that you have a very clear idea of who you are and what you want to communicate with others. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so I have finished answer all the questions in the Q&A, and it's now 2:16. And thank you very much for your time. I hope I honored your time and benefited you for this past 45 minutes. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Winston,
you.
and that is very insightful. I like the idea because I actually my resume is also like 6 pages, I think, and now I know it's kind of wrong. So you guys have to remember, resume to the max. You can have it like 6 pages, right? If it's more than that, you probably need to redo it. And I think it's also time for you to update your profile, whether you're looking for a job or not. I think it's always a good time to update it every now and then. And I think now, especially that now you heard it from Winston, a lot of ideas and thoughts about how to make your personal branding, especially in resume. I think it's time for you to update it. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't have enough time for today, but don't worry. Tomorrow we will have another round of live streaming. Tomorrow, right now, you're actually uh, learning about branding, of a personal branding, but tomorrow it's quite exciting because you guys are also gonna be interested in this one. It's about the salary negotiation. So when you're gonna engage in interviews and all that, I think what you also will be interested to know is about your salary and how do you want to negotiate that one. Then yes, I'll invite you tomorrow to watch our live stream again. We have again Gerald talking about this, and that will be our last day for this round's virtual career fair. And hopefully I'm going to see you there again. Okay. All right. So I think actually I have a lot of notes right here. I just want to make sure that I can remember all of them. But yes, if you are new to the virtual career fair, you can always invite your friends and family as well to join us.